Hi, once again, greetings everybody. I'm Amariah Ariel, the chosen lioness of God, because I am the chosen one. I'm still on bed rest, because after I got off of, by the time I finished uploading the video, which took about 9 hours for the video to upload, my data has gotten so slow for the rest of this month, this pay period. But I had, by the time I uploaded the video, the bleeding that I had told you guys about in that video had become more bleeding than spotting, and that lasted the whole day up past midnight. I wasn't able to sleep because I started off trying not to worry and just trying to think positive and think the best thoughts. I had looked up and saw that there were doctors who were saying that you could have implantation bleeding up to 12 weeks, and I had hit 12 weeks yesterday, based on past records. So I was doing my best to keep my mind on that's what it was, that it was just probably implantation bleeding. I do remember when I was pregnant with my first born, my son, I did have what I thought was periods for the first 3 months. And they were like regular periods. That's what made me think that they were just periods, because it wasn't just light, it wasn't just spotting, it was actual menstrual flow. So I was just going on the fact that maybe that's what it was when it was just spotting. But then when it got heavier and I started having some, I wouldn't say cramping, but localized pain, localized kind of mild pain, but it was very noticeable, but it wasn't unbearable for what it was. But I began to get very concerned, because as I stated in previous videos, I had problems with conceiving in the first place, and when I did conceive, I would have a miscarriage very early, a lot of times before I even realized that I had conceived. So yeah, I had started to panic, so I stayed up majority of the night just trying to get my baby to move. And I had downloaded this app, which I messed up in the beginning because I didn't research and read the apps like I normally would, because I was in a desperate state of mind. I was just desperate and panicked. So I had downloaded an app that supposed to allow you to hear the baby's heartbeat. Problem with it is that apparently is not set up to hear the heartbeat until about 30 weeks and after, and I'm only 12 weeks. So, but it did allow me to hear the baby's movement. But where I messed up is with me not doing research. If I had read and researched more first, I would have seen that I was supposed to have turned my phone on airplane mode, because I am aware that the phones emit a certain amount of radiation. But I know that I use my cell phone all the time anyway, especially with me doing these videos. And a lot of times my phone naturally ends up down in the vicinity of my belly. So I was just hoping that maybe that small adjustment wouldn't make that much of a difference. That, like I said, I mean, it's normally not in my normal type of thought range, but desperation. So I later realized that a lot of the apps, those type of apps, stated that it's mandatory to put your phone on airplane mode, which is supposed to block out the harmful radiations. So it wasn't until like a while later that I had put my phone in airplane mode to start using it. But by that time, that's when the bleeding had started getting heavy, so I was starting to feel guilty. But good news is I woke up this morning when I finally did go to sleep. I woke up and went to the bathroom, and there was no blood. And there hasn't been any blood all day. And I have been able to feel my baby move today. So things are looking up again. I was gonna go to the doctor if I was able to get a ride, but yeah. So a stress-free ride. I'm gonna say that because I mean, yeah, a stress-free ride there and back, and I didn't know anybody that I felt that I could call that would do that without no questions asked, without any extra stress and nonsense. So that's that. But anyway, on a positive note as well, I spent the majority of the day, and I believe some of yesterday, probably majority of yesterday, at least listening to my mentor, as well, Lisa Nichols. If y'all haven't heard of her or don't know who she is, haven't listened to her, even if you heard of her and just haven't listened to her, go and check her out on YouTube. It's Lisa Nichols, Lisa Nichols, Nichols. She's very awesome. She is not a motivational coach. She's a transformational coach. She emphasizes that. She does have a business that's called Motivating the Masses, but her ulterior goal is your transformation, not to motivate you, because motivation is temporary and transformation is permanent. So, and it's ongoing, actually. So I spent majority of my time listening to her. As I always also previously mentioned, she also led me to the book The Secret, which she was in. She was in the movie as well, which I have not gotten a chance to see yet. But y'all should definitely check out the book. I'm sure the movie is just as awesome, if not better. So definitely go check that out. It's very beneficial information. I'm definitely going to get a copy for my son and, well, for my babies, because it can help them as well. But from listening to her, I came up with, well, I got from her, I'm going to give her credit, I got from her the message for the day. And the message for the day is to, if you want to give your yes more value, then start by exercising your no. And also to let your no be a complete sentence. So that's my MOD, message of the day. I'm going to try to start putting some motivational messages in here on my channel as well, because I know there's a lot of people that's going through things that they don't really know how to get through. And I have gone through a lot of things in life. I've had a lot of experiences in life. A lot of times that I've said, excuse me for my phone moving so much. A lot of times that I said that I've gone through experiences at such a young age that I shouldn't have never known about it at those ages, and even at the age I am now. But everything happens for a reason, and what experiences you have, it was meant for you, either to in some type of way is to help you to grow. It may not always seem like it, but it is. And so I have had the benefit of all of the research that I've done, and learning from it, and coming across a lot of the people that I listen to as my mentors. And I just want to pass it on, because I know that there's a lot of people out here who still don't know how to get through it. A lot of people look at the things I've been through. I've been through a lot of different things. I've been I've been through abuse in every sense of the word that you can think of. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Like, every form of abuse there is, I've experienced it. I've been through heartbreak. I've been through extreme poverty. Like, there's a lot of people who act like that extreme poverty doesn't exist in America. That it only exists in third world countries. And yes, it exists more so in third world countries, based on what we know, what I know anyway, because I've never actually been to those countries. But to completely ignore the existence of extreme poverty in this land is ignorant, because there are a lot of people who don't know where they're going to get their next meal, don't know if they're going to get their next meal, or when they're going to get their next meal. I say that because there's been many times where I have gone days and weeks without food. Like, it's real. I have gone days barely with any fluid, like with barely having fluid. I don't know how my body sustained with the little amount of fluid that I was taking in. I've just been in some extreme situations, but the question has been presented to me is how am I still alive? How am I still here? There are people who see me, and they see me smiling, they see me happy, they see me always on the move and trying to, like, move forward. They never see me just sitting on a bench somewhere and not doing anything. And I can't knock the ones who are, exactly, because I don't know why they're sitting on a bench and perceivably not doing anything but asking for money. I don't know why, so I can't speak on it. But me personally, my experience is that would not get me where I want to be in life. And I feel like if that's the life that I would have to live, that's not the life I want, so I wouldn't want to live it. So basically, in a nutshell, I had no choice. I had allowed myself to be put in circumstances where I only had two options. Not three, not four. I had two options. It was either to push forward as hard as I can. And not only to push forward as hard as I can, but to do it in do it differently than what I saw everybody else was doing, because I knew that everybody else I saw around me didn't have what I wanted. None of the people that were around me, in my circle, in my life, in my reality, had what I wanted. And having anything less than what I could perceive, what I was reaching for, was not something that was going to alleviate my second option. And my second option was death. And with me being a mother, that wasn't an option. That's just not an option. As many times as I may have wanted it to be an option, I am a mother. As many people who have tried to take that from me, and yes, I've dealt with that a lot. But at the end of the day, my womb still bared those babies. My choices still brought those babies into this world. So therefore, I could not take the cop-out of just quitting on life and leaving them here to deal with it alone. So that's how I push forward. And I had to learn the message of the day for myself. I didn't look at it in such a direct way, but it took me many years to learn that I can't say yes to everything. Sometimes you may feel like you have to say yes to the things that people are asking you because you feel like you need them. And maybe they don't want to be needed by you. Trust me, there are people in this world who do want to be needed by you. Majority of times in life, a majority of what I've craved in life is to feel needed. And I'm not the only one. So yes, sometimes even when it feels like you really, really need people in your life, so you may think your brain may lead you, your brain and your current memory bank may lead you to believe that you have no choice but to say yes to whatever people ask you to do. Maybe it's just certain people. But the way Miss Nichols put it, she put it like this: the people that you need in your life, that you think you need in your life, a lot of times you think you need them because you love them. And if you love somebody, you want to give them the best you. And in order to give somebody the best you, you have to become the best you. And you can't become the best you if you're just always on your knees submitting to everything, any and everything that people ask you to do, whether it's a part of who you are or not, and whether it's you're not being authentic to yourself. And when you constantly say yes to things that you truly don't want to say yes to, those yeses become resentful yeses. And nobody wants a resentful yes. It's not fair to anybody to have your resentful yes. So sometimes you have to say no with grace. Not with an attitude, not with a no because you didn't do this and no because you didn't do that. Like I said, your no is a complete sentence. You can say no with a smile on your face. Not a sarcastic smile. But as you learn to exercise your no, you will become happier and the smile will be natural. because you know there's going to become a point in time where you will be able to say yes, and it will be a happy yes. And that's the yes that people want. Because when you walk around and you say yes to everything, you do whatever people want you to do, but you don't want to. You do it with the attitude. And it shows. People know. So learn to, and when people can get you to do anything, or get you to say yes to any and everything they ask, they become to expect a yes before they even asked. So that at that point your yes has no value, because they don't have to do anything for it. It's just automatic. But when you learn to exercise your no, then people will start to value and respect your yes a whole lot more. And I speak this message to you, but I also speak this message to myself, because that's something I'm still learning at the moment, because there's times that I have to learn to exercise my no even more. There are situations where there are sometimes people who you really, really care about, and sometimes the exercising your no comes in the form of cutting ties. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a permanent cutting of the tie, but sometimes you can let that depend on them. Sometimes your no is no, I'm not going to deal with that. No, I'm not going to accept that. No, I deserve better than that, and I'm not going to take anything less than what I deserve. Yes, I will accept the best version of you, or the constantly improving version of you, but I will not accept the same you from 2010, 11, 12, whatever, when it's now 2018. Yes, I will still have love for you, but my love for you wants to see you grow. So no, I will not accept you not showing growth, especially if it's not treating me well. So that's something that it takes practice. That's why it's called exercising your no. Because the more you exercise it, the stronger you'll get at it. Miss Nichols calls it a muscle. She said exercising your no muscle. So the more you exercise it, the stronger that muscle will get, and the easier to become to say. And then when you get to the point where somebody asks you to do something that you want to do, then you can happily and excitedly say yes. Like if somebody asks me to do a speech, yes, I'll do this speech. Somebody asked me to go and motivate somebody to give a uplifting message somewhere at an event. Yes, I'll do that event. Somebody want me to do some artwork for them, that is within my range of creativity. Yes, I'll do that artwork for you. I will be happy to say those yeses, but to say yes to mistreatment and abuse and neglect, and for somebody to ask me to do a bunch of things that is not even being taken care of for myself yet, no, I'm unable to do that. Not at this moment. Or it can just simply be no. Like I said, no is a complete sentence. Doesn't mean you're being mean. It may seem hurtful at the moment, but the more people begin to see your growth and see the path that you're going on, and they realize that they can benefit from staying connected to you and respecting you, they'll begin to respect you more for it, and they'll understand it. So anyway, that's the MOD for the day. The MOD message of the day. Make your yes more valuable by exercising your no, and let your no be a complete sentence. Anyway, that's all for today. Stay up, stay love. Take care.